Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Give us my chol, give us my chol, give us my chol, give a smile. Give us my chol, give us my chol, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Siva gedola, liyo besimcha. Give us my chol, give us my chol, Gebash Michael, give a smile. Gebash Michael, Gebash Michael, be the reason someone smile. Gebash Michael, Gebash Michael, Gebash Michael, Gebash smile. Gebash Michael, Gebash Michael, be the reason someone smile. Simba, Gedola, Leon, Leon, Simba. Simba, Gedola, Leon, Leon, Simba. Simba, Gedola,
Lost in time. Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta bi nishmati b'chemla rabba emunatecha.
Over the past 8 years, this man has filled stadiums with kippahs. This is Laser, and he runs Kippahs Plus. In what might seem like a modest office, Laser is actually operating an international business where he outfits thousands of Yidden with Judaism's most renowned fashion piece, the yarmulke. This business is incredible. Stick around for this.
Why do we wear yarmulkes? The yarmulke keeps us in check. Yorei Malka, yarmulke, reminds us of who's above. In Halacha, Shulchan Aruch references wearing yarmulke during religious ceremony, davening, tefillah.
What does the kippah represent?
The yarmulke is something unique that we've always worn through rain and shine, dark events and happy events, especially today where we have the opportunity to create yarmulkes of so many different shapes, colors, and sizes. So our designs are as contemporary as ever, and a kippah will never go away.
Is there a company that you're particularly proud to have worked with?
All right, my eyes are drawn right here to the GoPuff kippah. I like the proud, bold colors for this proud Jewish company where the founders are so proud of their Judaism. It was just so special to make a GoPuff yarmulke, to connect with this company who doesn't shy behind their beliefs. They're so proud and so strong in their beliefs. So here's that GoPuff kippah.
If you're looking to design a kippah for your company, family celebration, or just for fun, reach out to Kippahs Plus. They'll be happy to help.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Elli, Season 8, Episode 11. It is Tuesday, Yom Shehu Kveki Tov, the day that Hashem says twice it is good. The 6th day of Cheshvan, the 28th day of October. The Torah portion is Lech, Lecha, go to yourself. HaYom, Yom Shlishi, the Shabbos, third day, counting up towards Shabbos, be learning the third Aliyah. Good morning, how are you? What's new? How did you sleep? How was your Monday, huh? Did you have a good Monday? I had a good Monday. Quiet. Very, very quiet. Today in Mitzvah Hashem, we're going to be taking down the sukkah, although it is only 46 degrees outside right now, but at least we are not under a hurricane watch. Unbelievable. Chabad of Jamaica is on the scene and ready to help out. So if you know somebody that's there on the island, please have them reach out to Chabad, who is there ready to help. As a matter of fact, where is that? I just got a thing from Chabad about that. Let's see. Yes, Rabbi Yaakov Raskin, director of Chabad Lubavitch of Montego Bay with his wife Chaya. They've been there since 2014, and they are staying. They were there through Category 4 Hurricane Beryl. Chabad coordinated a team of volunteers from across the country to lead relief efforts then, distributing generators, cases of water, food to hundreds. The Chabad house sustained $30,000 in damages, but that was a rich man's problem compared to the people who lost houses and lives. Again, Rabbi Raskin is there. He has said he has 5,000 gallons of water, enough for family, community, and anyone who takes shelter at Chabad House, reaching out to everyone, making sure that they have correct contact information, and 3 pallets of food that had been ordered for Rosh Hashanah but never arrived suddenly showed up on Friday. If that is not the hand of Hashem. Melissa is moving at just 3 miles an hour, a dangerously slow pace. If you know anything about hurricanes, slow-moving hurricanes can be catastrophic because their winds batter structures for longer, cause lengthier storm surges, and delays rescue operations. Also, Melissa will unleash far more rain on the island, potentially causing severe flooding. They have reached over 10,000 contacts by email to pray for Jamaica. Rabbi Raskin's mother-in-law just went to the Ohel, the resting place of the Rebbe, to daven and to pray for the safety of the island. They are there and ready to serve, the rabbi says. Hopefully it won't be a disaster, but if it is, we will be ready. The Ark Center, as Chabad is known, is stocked with 500 gallons of diesel, backup phones, and power banks. So they're preparing for the worst and hope for the best. Hashem runs the world, and our job is to prepare the best we can. And turns out, and hope that Hashem will do his part, and we know he will. So our heartfelt blessings to those who are on Jamaica. If you're there, you're stuck there. So, all right. Today's davening and program is in the memory of Chana Bas Gittel, Aliyah Shalom, and the speedy and complete recovery of Yaakov Micha ben Zahava, and the safe return of all the remaining hostage remains, and an end to all conflict and war. Men and boys, please take your 2 front tzitzis. Let's make a bracha. Everyone else, join us in the second bracha. One day I'll figure out why this thing doesn't change when it's supposed to.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher yatzar et ha'adam b'chokhma uvaravo nekavim nekavim chalulim chalulim galui v'yadua lifnei chisei Chevodecha she'im yisatem echad mehem o im ייפתח אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים אפילו שעה אחת. ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו על דברי תורה. הריני מקבל עלי מצוות עשה של ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Morasha kehilas Yaakov, Torah tziva lanu Moshe.
I put it in the pushki that's a darker box. I put it in the pushki that's a darker box. I put it in the pushki for someone else to keep. Yeah, I put it in the pushki that's a darker box. I put it in the pushki that's a darker box. I put it in the pushki for someone else in need.
All right, we put money in our pushka. Thank you so much. And that will take us to the saying of the Shema. So take your right hand and place it over your eyes, please.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
All right, and that takes us to breakfast of coffee and yogurt, making a bracha shahakol. Are you ready? Yep, that's right. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shahakol nihiyah bidvarei.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the
All right. And that takes us to today in Jewish history. Our daily reminder to say Mashiv Haruch. All right. Today, the 6th day of Cheshvan, is the day that after leaving Morocco and before settling in Egypt, the Rambam, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, known as Maimonides, visited Yerushalayim and prayed at the site of the Holy Temple. 3 days later, he visited Chevron and prayed at the Maras Machpelah, the cave of Machpelah, and resolved to keep these 2 days, the 6th and 9th of Mar Cheshvan, as a personal holiday. Wow. By order of King John, the Jews of England were imprisoned until they paid the enormous sum of 66,000 marks as a tax. Now, in the year 1210, that was a lot of money. Now, Avram of Bristol refused to pay his share, which was 10,000 silver marks, had a tooth pulled every day until he agreed to pay. He lost 7 teeth before he was able to raise the funds. It is the birthday today of Rabbi Yisrael Salanter, who lived from 1809 to 1883. And the first census in the state of Israel counted 712,000 Jews and 69,000 Arab residents in 1948. Mind-boggling. All right. HaYom for today, the 6th day of Cheshvan.
היום הזה הוא זמן שמחתנו, שמע את התפילה שבליבנו, ותמחול את כל עוונותינו ביום הזה.
HaYom thoughts for the day, 5th of Mar Cheshvan. Think you're just a guy, not much of a star? Think again. Just because you're just you doesn't exempt you from being a light to those around you. You have a neshama, yeah. Buried deep down under all those bags of potato chips and nonsense that may have piled up around you, your neshama is there. You're a star, a real superstar. So twinkle, twinkle, and light up the world.
In the HaYom, for the 6th day of Cheshvan, the Rebbe writes that when the Alter Rebbe wanted to bless the Chassid, Rabbi Kosiel Lepler, with wealth, the Chassid said that he didn't want it. He didn't want wealth to distract him from the study of Chassidus and from his davening. When the Rebbe then offered to bless him with long life, his answer was, but not peasant years. Men that have eyes but do not see, they have ears but don't hear, who do not perceive, they don't see or hear godliness.
Not peasant ears. We wish for that every single day as we go to a word from our sponsors.
And now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidall.com.
PestProRidall.com. Trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidall.com.
Tarzane Group. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzangroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565 and order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzangroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids, beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications, logos, wall hangings, Judaica, and you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Helping lots of people any way we can. Tzedakah is the Jewish way to help your fellow man.
All right, if you'd like to help out bringing Torah all around the world, helping us to bring this broadcast around the planet, scan this handy QR code, and that will take you to breakfastwithelli.live/support, or you can go to patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and all of this will help us to pay our bills and to bring Torah all around the world. And you get credited with giving tzedakah as well. Torah.
Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
With the words Lech, Lecha, Hashem transformed Avram into his shaliach, an emissary. Avram was no longer acting merely as an inspired visionary. He now could speak with authority beyond himself, making the conviction of his message incomparably more effective than it had previously been. Thus, only through his efforts after Hashem spoke to him that the divine presence, the Sheina, began its true descent back to earth. Finally, and most importantly, by telling him Lech to go, Hashem made Avram into a new person who could now progress beyond his own abilities. God made Avram into a new person who could now, go to you, Lech Lecha, means go to yourself, your true, higher self, the self that you could never reach on your own. The definition of a godly person was no longer a person who connects to God as far as the limits of human capacity allow. Its definition had now become a person who connects to Hashem by infinitely progressing beyond the limits of human capacity. In this context, Hashem, in Parshas Lech Lecha, takes the dynamic initiated in Parshas Noach to its next level. In Parshas Noach, we saw Hashem introduced as the notion of tshuva to the world, the possibility to correct wrongdoing and remake our lives even after committing what would otherwise appear to be a fatal mistake. And now, in Parshas Lech Lecha, Hashem not only makes it possible for us to return to our original selves, he even makes it possible for us to return to our authentic, fundamental selves, the selves we never even knew existed, constantly uncovering new and infinitely higher vistas of our innate divine personality and connection with Hashem. Finish that off tomorrow. In the third Aliyah, Lot, who had accompanied Avram and Sarai, was independently wealthy. When his shepherds quarreled with Avram's shepherds, the two parted ways, Lot settling in the province of Sodom, which was renowned for its evil inhabitants. After Lot departed, Hashem spoke to Avram again, reiterating his promise to bequeath the land to his descendants and promising to make his descendants as numerous as the sands of the earth. Here is Chumash and Rashi with Rabbi Avtzon on the parting of the ways and Hashem revealing himself again. Should change right away. I don't know why it doesn't.
Jewish audio on Chabad.org.
Now, Avram, as we said, is traveling north back into Israel, and he's traveling with Lot. But Lot also acquired quite a bit. It seems just because he was Avram's relative, Paroi managed to give him some stuff, and Lot managed to accumulate. It's good, family, good relationships always help, and a wealthy brother-in-law made him wealthy as well. Now, the issue was that there wasn't enough pasture for both the cattle of Avram and Lot's herdsmen decided to start using other people's pasture, ones that aren't, just free and accessible to everyone. And their argument was, well, Avram was promised by God to get the land, and Avram doesn't have any inheritors, so Lot's going to be his inheritor. So now we could do it. The problem was, Avram did not inherit it yet, and it wasn't for Avram to give it to anybody. Only Hashem said, I'll give it to you later. But Avram couldn't convince Lot, so he turns to him and says, listen, sunshine, let's not have contention. I don't want people to think that there's a faribble, there's a fight between us. We are relatives, and we actually look alike. We could be mistaken for brothers, Rashi says. So, look, the whole land's in front of you. You want to go north, I'll go south. You want to go south, I'll go north. Let's just split. And Lot decides to go southeast. Where does he go? He goes to a place called Sodom and Gomorrah. This is obviously before it was destroyed. It was a beautiful place. It was full of trees like God's own Garden of Eden, full of vegetation like Egypt, and it was just a stunning place. Even though the inhabitants over there were far from moral, Lot actually liked that idea because, after hanging around his ultra-religious, fanatical brother-in-law for a while, he just felt he needs a break. So he chooses for himself the Jordan plain, the Jordan next to the Dead Sea, right under the Dead Sea, and he moves away, both physically and ideologically. He moves away from his brother-in-law Avram and goes now to start a new life for himself. Although Avram did commit to him that if you ever need me, I will reach out to you, as eventually it does happen, that Lot gets entangled in quite a mess. So Avram lives in Canaan, which is more north, while Lot lives in the Jordan River plain, and all his herdsmen are pitching their tents as far as Sodom. Now, the people of Sodom were wicked, immoral practices and sinners, and they also used their possessions for immoral purposes, as we will discuss in next week's Parsha when we talk about the destruction of Sodom. They were quite a group. Now, ever since Lot began to resent Avram and his God and rebel against him, Hashem refrained from talking to Avram, because when you hang around with somebody that's not a good influence, it affects you as well. Now that Lot was gone, the first time since Hashem told Avram go, God talks to Avram, and they have a conversation. And Hashem says to Avram, raise your eyes and see from the place you are, look to the north, south, to the east and to the west, and I'll give you this entire land, Canaan, to you and your offspring forever. I will make your offspring as numerous as the dust of earth. Just like a person cannot count the particles of dust, so to your if a man would be able to count the particles of dust in the world, then they'll be able to count your descendants, which is obviously impossible. In order to mark out the land, so that you know and that you could become the owner, you could acquire it, rise and walk through the land along its length and breadth, for I will give it to you in the future. Well, now Avram did not walk the land immediately, but rather he set up tents, settled in the plains of Mamre, the Amorite. That was one of the people over there, which Avram built an alliance with in the Hebron area. And in appreciation for having to finally begin to dwell permanently in the land, and thanksgiving for the additional blessings that Hashem just gave him, he built a third altar to Hashem and offered a sacrifice, and he made allies with Mamre and his two brothers, Aner and Eshkol, which would later come very handy.
All right, Parsha Points with Rabbi Epstein.
Parsha Points Lecha Tuesday. Just because we can't be business together doesn't mean I don't love you. Avram tells Lot that they got to separate. And he assures him that wherever you go, I will be there right next to you. You go left, I'll be at your right. Even though he can't be with them, their partnership has ended, not their relationship. There are times we may have to step away from a friend, but we must remain nearby if they need us, even if we need some distance between us.
Bruchim Aboim B'Shem Hashem. What a great schus it is that throughout the entire world, on virtually every continent, we are all united, learning Shnai Mikra Ve'echad Targum. Shlishi, we learn that Avram Avinu told Lot, Hipared no me'olai, we have to separate. Im asmol ve'emina, if you go left, I'll go right. Ve'im hayamin v'asme'ila, and if you will go right, I will go left. What was the reason for this? The Torah tells us that Avram Avinu realized that there was a sakana, there was a danger, if he would be in the confines together with a Rasha, together with those that might have a negative influence. And therefore, he had to leave immediately, not to learn from his deeds. Even Avram Avinu, on his exalted level, he was afraid. Chacham Ovadia Yosef says something fascinating. In Avos the Rebbe Nosson, we learn there is an obligation that we have to run away from Rishayim, to leave the Oivrei Aveira. Even though we might not emulate them, it will be considered as if we are with them, and chas v'sholom, we could be punished. If we attach ourselves to the Oisei Mitzvah, those that are good, even if we don't do the mitzvahs, we'll be Mekabel Schar. We will receive reward just like them. The great Rosh Hashiva, Rav Yitzchak Ruderman, the Rosh Hashiva of Ner Yisrael, was once in a hotel. He needed to stay for a few days in a certain city. And the Gabbai, who was staying with him, received a call on the telephone. He answered it. And when he put it down, the Rosh Hashiva said, "Who was it?" He said, "There was a man who said he was a childhood friend of yours, and he's coming over to see you. He's excited that you're in town." As soon as Rosh Hashiva heard it, he got his coat on, and he left the hotel in a hurry. The Gabbai ran after him. The Gabbai said, "Rebbe, why are you running away?" He said, "Because 50 years ago, the Alter of Slobodka told me I should stay away from him. He is a negative influence." 50 years later, I'm still listening to my Rebbe's words.
Or, just saying, Chassidus looks at it just a little bit differently. All right, Parsha in a minute, Rabbi Shlomo Feldman.
Welcome back to Parsha in a minute. In today's Chumash, Avram's camp and his nephew Light's camp were fighting. Avram told Light, "I don't want to continue having tension with you. You and I are family. I don't want to fight with you." Avram told Light, "Pick a direction. Wherever you go, I'll go the opposite way. But I'll stay close enough that if you ever need me, I'll be there for you." We learn from today's Aliyah the idea of healthy boundaries. In every relationship, there needs to be healthy boundaries for the benefit of the relationship. If you don't effectively communicate, and if you don't set healthy boundaries, then it'll affect your relationships negatively. We set boundaries because we care about the relationship, and we don't want to fight with the close people in our lives. Have effective communication, set healthy boundaries, and that way you can have the best relationships possible.
Healthy boundaries. That's the operative word. Healthy boundaries. And of course, you know that if there's anything you can do to change that fact, you should do it. All right, we're going to go to Rabbi, excuse me, the other Rabbi Feldman in Iceland.
I'd like to share with you the story of the very first hotel and restaurant in recorded history. It was owned and run by Avraham, our forefather, the first Jew. Except that this hotel and restaurant was not to make money, but it was to help people and to teach people about the one true God. How did it work? Somebody came to eat in the restaurant. When they were done, they said, Avraham, how could we thank you? And he would say, don't thank me. It's not my food. Thank God, because the food belongs to him. It was a society and a world filled with idol worshippers, and nobody believed in the God of Avraham. And so they refused. So what did Avram do? He said, no problem. Pay the price for the food. Of course, in the middle of the desert, very expensive to enjoy a nice warm meal. And of course, the price was very high. So instead of paying for their food, they would say, okay, well, thank God. But why did Avram do this? What was the point of asking people to thank God if they didn't believe it at all? And the answer is that Avram had a vision of humanity where every single positive action and every single good word has tremendous value. Avram, when he stood in front of someone, he didn't see the fact that they were an idol worshiper. He didn't look at them as a person who denies God. What he saw was a person who has the potential to recognize God and to recognize the truth. And so Avram believed that deep down, everyone has an inner belief. Somewhere deep in their hearts, they have a belief for God and a belief for the truth. And so by Avram asking them to thank God and to utter those words, he was bringing that inner belief to the surface and help them recognize what they already believe in somewhere deep inside their hearts. So when it comes to doing a mitzvah, you might think to yourself, what's the point of doing it if I don't feel like it? What's the point of doing it if it's not me? And the answer is what Avram teaches us. Avram teaches us that it is you. That is your inner self. That is your core. That is what you believe in deep down. So you're not a hypocrite for doing the mitzvah. If anything, this is the truest expression of yourself.
Wow. All right. And we will finish off our Torah section with Rabbi Zusha Zilberstein. And we'll have just a little pause while I put in the new one.
Yesterday we spoke about how Avram free Palestine, free Palestine. But lately there's something new that has appeared. Free Palestine, free Palestine. But lately there's something new that has appeared. I guess I got tired of this. And now there's a new thing going on, especially in the States. No king. What is this craziness? What is this mishugayis, as we say in good old Yiddish? Or is it only a mishugayis? You know what? I want to give you a personal take on this matter. But before we do that, let us say thank you to Hashem for protecting us from all these crazy things. Mizmor s8e10 rila adonai kol ha'artziv d'sadenu v'simcha bo lefanav v'nano. U'ka adonai elim hu osanu v'lo nachlam v'tzem marisa bo yishor b's8e10 chatzoroisa b'silo bo hodu lebachu shemoi ki tov adonai le'olam chasdo v'yador v'odor emunasoi. Let us give some tzedakah and express our prayers and request from the Eibishter. No, time for the Geula. No king? Yes, king. Let me explain. Give you a little bit of background to my thought. On the 29th of February 1992, there was Chov Zayin Shvat, 27th day of Shvat, Chov Zayin, which is Zach, pure. Shabbos Parshas Mishpatim. That was a Shabbos. The Rebbe spoke an amazing, unusual Sikha talk. And he explained the background to the total revolutionary approach in the world events where America and Russia, the two arch enemies, waging hot and cold war for so many years, for decades. So Reagan and Gorbachev got together in New York on that Friday and decided to call it quits, to end this Cold War and enter into a new era of peace and harmony. To the point that they had decided and agreed upon the discontinuation of developing of new nuclear weapons and a radical scaling down the amounts of the atomic nuclear weapons they have. Now, this was an exceptional moment. This came together with the fall of the Iron Curtain, the opening up of Russia, and the transformation of the whole geopolitics. But the Rebbe said something exceptional. He says, where does this idea come from? Who is really behind it? What made these two people suddenly think of taking a new approach, such a beautiful, peaceful approach? And the Rebbe said that this is the direct influence of Moshiach on the thinking of the world leaders of the world. Behind the scenes. Now, to what extent, active or inactive, the Rebbe did not share. But the Rebbe said it clearly. This is the influence of the reality of Mashiach's presence in the world, affecting the world to think in new terms. And the Rebbe said that we should see all these exceptional events which happened then, 91, 92, continuously, as a process of the final coming of Mashiach. Now, this was 34 years ago. But in the scheme of things, 34 years is not much. We are living, no question about it, that we are living today the last final nanoseconds of exile, and we see realities of Geula, of redemption, of Mashiach in front of our eyes. The more the light is becoming powerful, the more the light is shining, the more we see the little impurities. Mashiach is called Melech HaMashiach. As the Rambam says clearly, Yakum Melech, if a king will arise, Mashiach will be a king with all the rules and all the laws of kingship, according to Jewish law. So the more this is becoming a reality, the more klippa, the powers of impurity, are fighting it. So that's why suddenly you have this new thing, no king. The whole term of no king makes no sense. At most they should say no authoritarian, no dictatorship. But where does the word king come from? America has no king, battled king, ran away from monarchy. But they are talking, this is the last remnant of the fight against the revelation of Mashiach, Melech HaMashiach. So friends, yes, king. Which king? Mashiach.
All right. Tehillim chapters 23 and 124.
מזמור לדוד, אדוני רואי, לא אחסר, בינוס תשע, ירביצני, על מי מנוחוס ינהלני, נפשי שובב, ינחני ומעגלי צדק, למען שמו, גם כי לך בגץ על מובס, לא ירא, כי אתה עמדי, שבטך ומשענתך, המה ינחמוני. תערוך לפניי שולחן נגד צורריי, תשענת בשמן ראשי, כוסי רוויה, אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני. כל ימי חיי ושבתי בביס אדוני לאורך ימים.
All right, Tanya for the day. Here we go.
Tanya thoughts for the 5th of Mar Cheshvan. In Maimonides' 14 volumes of law, Book 1, Law 1, Page 1, he tells us that we are going to know God. Wow. The last law of the last book, on the last page, describes a time when the world is filled with the knowledge of God. Cool. In between, there's laws about property ownership and the ritual purity status of a potter's wheel. It's like, hey, wait, what happened to all that godliness you promised? Answer, it's there, in those ticky-tack rules. The same infinite God in the Holy of Holies is the same in the ordinary of ordinaries.
Thank you for joining Tanya in 5. Today's lesson for the 6th of Cheshvan. We continue in the 26th letter of Igeres HaKodesh. In this letter, the Alter Rebbe quotes from the Zohar, a teaching that at first glance might suggest that the Kabbalistic teachings of the Zohar are an expression and derive from the tree of life, whereas the rest of the revealed parts of the Torah, not the hidden secrets of the Torah as in the Kabbalah of the Zohar, but in the revealed parts of the Torah that speak about that which is permitted, not permitted, fit and unfit and the like, are an expression of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But in truth, the Alter Rebbe says in today's class, if you examine more closely at the text that is quoted from the Zohar in the Raya Mehemna part, so the words are the tree of good and evil, which is Isser and Heter, which is permitted and not permitted. So you take note that it doesn't say the words that the teachings of permitted and not permitted, or the laws of permitted and not permitted. Rather, what does it mean? It means that the actual thing that is in discussion in Jewish law which is either prohibited or permitted, is deriving from the tree of good and evil. Meaning, the tree of good and evil is klipas noiga. Klipas noiga is a shell that has a mixture of good and evil in it. And hence the object that is in discussion in Jewish law, whether it's, let's say, about a fruit. I'm just giving this as an example. The Alter Rebbe doesn't do this. First 3 years you're not allowed to take the fruit of a tree. It's orla. So it's in the discussion of that law, the discussion of it is an expression of the tree of life, but the object under discussion, either it's a permitted thing or not a permitted thing. In other words, it's an expression. It derives from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which means it's klipa. Now, this fits in also with the etymological words in Hebrew, the word usr. Usr means prohibit. We translate it as prohibited, but it really means that it's bound down, that it's tied down, that the klipa hovers over it, not allowing it to ascend to the divine. Whereas the word mutar, which means permitted, we translate as permitted, means it's not tied down, not bound to the klipa, to the negative force, and therefore it's able to ascend. For example, when a person consumes something, a fruit again, or anything, having God in mind, or using it, having this food in order to serve God, the energy from that consumption, now one studies as we're studying right now and prays to God. Thus what happens is that the energy that's extracted from the food are form the letters of the Torah and the prayer which ascend to God. So in other words, now it's ascending because it's mutar, so therefore with our intent we're able to make it ascend to upwards to the divine. That's during the weekday. On Shabbos, where the entire world is elevated, so klipas noiga is also elevated, hence we don't need to have this intent to serve God. The very fact that we're eating for the delight of Shabbos, that itself is a mitzvah. So therefore, if we consume meat and wine, and even though during the week we might, if we ate that amount, we'd be considered a glutton and a drunkard perhaps, but being that it's Shabbos and there's a mitzvah to feast, to have the pleasure, to enjoy, so therefore it's being elevated without the intent. But that's all when something is mutar, when something is not bound to klipa down here. On the other hand, something that is prohibited, that is usr, it cannot ascend. Whether it's on Shabbos or on a weekday, even if one prays and studies with the energy thereof, it doesn't ascend. Why? Because it's integrally bound down here, because it's something that's not it's prohibited. It's something that's not kosher. So even though now you ate that non-kosher thing, God forbid, and you have energy from it and you study Torah thereafter, it's not elevated. Unless, of course, one ate it to save their life, because then the sages permit it. But the study of Torah itself, not the object that's in discussion in Torah study, but the study itself, as we're doing right now. Well, we're studying esoteric teachings in the Tanya, but the studies that would be in the Mishnah, in the Brisa, in the Gemara, this is all part of the Talmud, or the codifiers thereafter, when they're discussing laws of pure and impure, permitted and not permitted, and the like, this is a fundamental fact that this is part of the oral Torah, and the oral Torah comes from the sphera of Malchus of Atzilus, and this is mentioned in an innumerable amount of places in the Zohar itself, that it's an expression of Malchus of Atzilus. And as we know, Malchus is mouth, because that's referring to the oral Torah. The king rules with his mouth, with his decrees. And in Atzilus, we know that God is one with the divine attributes, one with the light, one with the vessels, and hence the light of the divine attribute of Malchus, which is the expression of the oral Torah, and it derives, the oral Torah derives from Malchus of Atzilus. Now, Malchus of Atzilus is solely one with the Ein Sof, with God himself. Hence, it is not possible to say that the Torah, the oral Torah, which deals with laws about permitted, not permitted, kosher, not kosher, and the like, are an expression or derive from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, but they derive from the tree of life. And that is Tanya 5. Thank you for joining.
How beautiful is that? Sefer HaMitzvahs of the Rambam up next.
No, it's not impossible that Rebbe did say, just study Rambam each and every day. I'll never miss my daily Rambam. My Rebbe so desires, I'm not busy or too tired. When I learn Rambam's connected, I remain, I am a link in the Rebbe's golden chain.
And the chain continues with class number 242.
Today we learned some more mitzvahs associated with the concept of murder. Positive mitzvah 247 is that if we see somebody chasing someone else and it's clear that his intent is to kill him, he is called a rodef, a chaser, and we are obligated to do whatever we can to stop him, even to the extent of killing him. Negative mitzvah 293 is the flip side of this and says we're prohibited to have pity on the life of a rodef, the life of someone chasing somebody else to death. We must do whatever we can to stop it. Negative mitzvah 297 is on a similar note, where if we ever see a person in mortal danger and we're capable of saving him, we must not stand by and do nothing. A guy is drowning and we know we could jump in and save the guy, not allowed to stand by and watch him die. Positive mitzvah number 182 picks up on yesterday's theme of the cities of refuge. We actually have an obligation to set aside a number of cities that will serve as Arei Miklat in the case that when a person murders inadvertently, he will have where to run.
Baruch Hashem, it is day number 242 of our daily study of Rambam Sefer Mitzvahs. And in the 3 chapters a day of Mishnah Torah, we are finishing Hilchos Mikvos. And with finishing Hilchos Mikvos, we are finishing the entire Sefer Tahara, the Sefer, the book of ritual purity. Mazel Tov. So we have now completed another one of the 14 books of Mishnah Torah in the 3 chapters a day study track of Mishnah Torah. So our mitzvah corresponding to that, we will repeat it. Positive Commandment 109, which you know from the past several days, the mitzvah of immersion in a mikvah. When one wishes to gain ritual purity, it is done through immersion in a mikvah. Okay, and now we are starting the book of Nizikin. Nizikin means damages. And the first set of halachas is called Nizkei Momein, which literally means monetary damages. Okay, our first mitzvah from this new sefer, Positive Commandment 237, is the mitzvah to follow the law, meaning we are commanded to follow the law concerning what happens when a person's ox or any other animal damages, when it is a goring ox. That's the archetypical case that is used in the verse in Shmos, that's the book of Exodus, Chof Aleph, that means chapter 21, Chof Ches, that means verse 28, V'chi yigach shoir, and when an ox gores. And this is the law that concerns damage caused by one's animal. Okay? There are many complex laws that are part of this law. And in the Talmud, the Rambam tells us, this is dealt with at length in the tractate known as Bava Kama. And here in the Mishnah Torah, it is dealt with in these halachas called Nizkei Momein. Okay, that is our lesson for today. We will see you again for more tomorrow, God willing.
All right. The purpose of creation. Hashem created the world in order to bestow goodness on his creatures so that they may recognize Hashem's greatness and merit, to be a vehicle to Hashem and to cleave to him, ledavek bo, and to reveal the perfection of his abilities, to make Hashem known to man through his attributes. The Eitz Chaim says that. People have always grappled with the question, why did God create the world? Understanding our purpose is important because it helps us envision the goal of creation, the state of perfection we will ultimately achieve when Mashiach comes as we bring heaven down to earth. Here's Shmuel Tzvi with today's Vort.
The richest man in the world. Do you guys know who the richest man in the world is? Well, according to the Holy Torah, the richest man in the world, according to Pirkei Avos, the ethics of our fathers, we learn from our sages that the richest man in the world, or someone who is rich, is someone who appreciates what they have. Someone who is happy with his lot. Because you could have a person who is a trillionaire and is miserable with what he has, and then you could have somebody who has almost nothing and he is happy as can be. And who's richer at the end of the day? So richness, wealth comes from within, comes from the recognition that is from Hashem, and gratitude towards Hashem that our whole life is a gift from him and he is good and he adores us. By tapping into that mindset, we make ourselves vessels to receive countless more blessings from God. So let's get rich starts with appreciating what we have. God bless you all.
Mashiach's waiting at the door, so let us greet him and come back home, finally home in the place where we belong. It's been so long that we've been gone, so lost and alone, scattered all across the globe. But now that we are back again, we beg you, please resume your throne. We're finally home.
All right, sorry about that. What is divine wisdom? Divine wisdom is the inner delight of the infinite, condensed and crystallized until it's fit for human consumption. What's a mitzvah? A mitzvah is divine wisdom condensed and crystallized until it can be performed as a physical action. That's why in the study of Torah there's infinite delight, and that's why in the act of a mitzvah there is unlimited joy. You want to talk to us more about that? Come to us on social media. Any of the Actors Rabbi social groups at Blue Sky, Clubhouse, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Telegram, Twitter, WhatsApp, Tube, YouTube. Email me at theactorsrabbi@gmail.com. or go to theactorsrabbi.com for more information. You can also go to breakfastwithelli.live/mail and sign up for our new Shabbos newsletter. Comes out every week on Thursday, God willing. And at theactorsrabbi.com, you can sign up for life coaching services should you require them. I think I'm going to move those two around. All right, let's make an after bracha. Baruch ato Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam boirei nefashos rabos v'chesronan al kol ma sheborasa lachayos bohem nefesh kol chai baruch chai ha'olamim. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you to my Patreon sponsors, Pest Pro Riddle, Tarzan Orchids, Dina D Design, Reza Musavi, Avi G, Wendy Cohen, and our anonymous donor. You guys are amazing. Thank you for being here. It means so much to me, and thank you for participating in Breakfast with Ellie's, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean. If you would like to become a sponsor or just give a donation, scan this handy QR code, which you see on the screen right here, and it'll take you to breakfastwithellie.live/support, or you can go to patreon.com/theactorsrabbi. Patreon.com/theactorsrabbi. All right. Fine Ananias. We've got brand new good news with Heshy Kaufman. Let's see, is that the right? Yeah, I think that's the right one. All right. It is the 6th day of Cheshvan. Go out and make it a great and glorious day today. If you haven't done your early voting, please go out and do that in New York. It's important. There is a candidate that absolutely positively needs to be defeated. And although that's, I don't like that we're choosing the one we want to defeat instead of the one we want to lead. It makes me wonder what has happened to politics. We've lost sight of the whole thing. Good morning, Yaakov. This show will repeat in just a few minutes. All right. Make it a great and glorious day. Go out and do something nice, something good for someone today. In the words of Rav Isaac Kamler, have affection for a fellow. Hashem will have affection for you. Do a kindness for a fellow. Hashem will do a kindness for you. Draw a fellow close. Hashem will draw you close to him. Make it a great and glorious day. Be the reason someone smiles, and enjoy this music video as we sign off for today, and we will see you, God willing, tomorrow. Again, this program will repeat on most of the platforms. You'll be able to watch a repeat. Have a great day. Be the reason someone...
Hey, Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Hey, Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Oh, Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Hey, Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Ashreinu, Matir Chalgeinu, Umanoyim, Goyir Aleinu, Umayofa Yofa Yerushaseinu, Umayofa Yofa Yerushaseinu. Ashreinu, Matir Chalgeinu, Umanoyim, Goyir Aleinu, Umayofa Yofa Yerushaseinu, Umayofa Yofa Yerushaseinu. Ashreinu. Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you and proud to be a Yid. Tate, I thank you, Tate, I love you, I'm proud to be a Yid. Ashreinu, atoy chilkeinu, ma noyim, yoyden leinu, ma yafa yafa yirushaseinu, ma yafa yafa yirushaseinu. Tate, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Tate, I love you. I love you. Tate, I thank you. Sheini. Merci. Tate, I love you and love you, Tate. I'm proud to be a Yid. I'm proud to be a Yid. I'm proud to be a Yid. I'm proud to be a Yid.
Shabuvani, 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 Shabuvani likulam. Shabuvani likulam. Shabuvani, Shabuvani, Shabuvani likulam. Shabuvani likulam. Shabuvani, Shabuvani, Shabuvani likulam.